Hello, football fans, and welcome back to Madden 24. In this episode, I'm going to be playing against Minnesota at home. We are going to be wearing the white jerseys because that is what the team will be wearing this year. Um, as we saw in week 3 already, I'm having some difficulty keeping up with the actual things going on the field because I did start Bryce Young when actually he was benched and Andy Dalton was put in his place. Um, I've sort of decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to start Bryce Young as he is my guy. So if he gets injured, then Andy Dalton will come in. But otherwise, I'm going to take the season as I actually would. With that being said, we actually did have the lead at one point in the game. Actually had the lead going into halftime of the game this past week here against the Seahawks. And I'm pretty pleased with what the team did overall. It is a little bit sad that we lost the game in the end, but as I've said from the beginning, this is a growing season there for us. So I'm not too worried about that. With that in mind, though, I am a little bit sad that Bryce Young didn't play, but at the same time, I am hopeful that being on the bench and getting to watch Andy Dalton run the offense might help him in the future. I'm very torn about it because I could see doing it either way. I could see him being really good and starting right now, or I could see him sort of being an Aaron Rodgers and sitting behind our version of Brett Favre with Andy Dalton for the rest of the year and learning. But we'll have to see what the team does over the year. With that in mind, though, I'd say the biggest news that came out in football this week was actually not with my team at all, but with the Miami Dolphins. Um, Shocking how badly they beat the Broncos 70-20, and it does scare me some because of the fact that my Panthers do have to play the Dolphins later in the season here. So hopefully we won't be beaten as badly as the Broncos were. But I guess we'll have to see how that goes. With all that being said, though, we're going to go ahead and start this week here against Minnesota. I think we have a very good chance because I don't think Minnesota's really that great of a team this year. So let's jump into the game, see how we do. One last thing before we do jump into the game, I did forget to mention, and I wanted to reiterate it from previous weeks. I am going to be going on my honeymoon starting this next week, so there will not be commentary on each of the videos. I will have the videos recorded for the specific week in question with the team that we will actually be playing in real life that week. I believe week 7, which I think is like the third week of October, there is no game, so I may have some other video for that particular week, but there won't be a season game because the Panthers aren't playing that week. But with that in mind, as I said, I am going to keep the videos up to date, but I will not be doing audio for them because I will have pre-recorded those week's games, and I'll be on my honeymoon at the time. I will be back in November, though, so we'll get back to me discussing the Football League and playing the game at the same time. So with that in mind, now let's go ahead and jump into the game.
It's week 4 of the NFL. And coming up, we'll see Justin Jefferson. He's coming off a week where he stuffed the stat sheet in both yards and touchdowns. It's the Vikings and the Panthers. And it's coming up next on EA Sports.
Now for the so-called City Beautiful and home to the Madden studios. This is EA Sports coverage of the National Football League from Orlando, Florida. Today it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Panthers of Orlando. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you're starting to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by a guy certainly still trying to prove himself here in the league, the young rookie quarterback.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win.
Ready, shot, 17.
Young off the play fake. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down. A man who joined the Panthers from the NFC champs, it's Miles Sanders. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. They've had their trouble stopping the run, Charles. Currently 29th in the NFL in that department.
For some defensive fronts, playing the run is not the priority. It's playing the pass, right? They get upfield, they rush the passer, and sometimes neglect stopping the run. That's something they have to work on and reverse a little bit. Make sure you play the run on your way back to the quarterback.
That throw by Young incomplete. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. So here are the Vikings set to go to work, and they're led by the leading passer in the NFC a season ago. Now in his 12th year, 6th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep his string of good games going right here.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first. Off the play fake, Cousins. That is incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. Oh, now an injured player down there, and this is not what you want to see. That's Justin Jefferson, who's having some issues. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Third and 4. They'll throw again. Cousins. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 42. A nice pickup of 10 means that this drive will stay on track. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Throwing, Cousins. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Yetur Gross-Matos getting in there to make the play.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Throwing is Cousins. They're trying for Rager, but it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick six for a Panther touchdown. Well, for the offense, it looked like that drive had the makings of something good. They were starting to hit a groove, but the defense clearly had other ideas, not only to force the turnover, but to handle the scoring themselves.
Yeah, no panic in their eyes, was their partner? Think about it this way. A Hall of Fame coach once told me the best characteristic he liked out of his teams was that they didn't flinch. This group, they got pushed back in an early series, kept their composure, and made a big play that swung the momentum their way.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Good throw there to start this second possession. Maybe help erase the memory of the interception he threw first possession.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time now there's a communication between the head coach, offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach. All right, we got to get him settled. It's not easy after you've thrown a pick six. You might want to just run the football, but I think in most cases you want to give him easy throws that he's...
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers will take over possession here up at the 44. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw him on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Following the interception, Young. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. You look at this defense for the Vikings. They've had their trouble stopping the run, Charles. Currently 29th in the NFL in that department.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So on now is Johnny Hecker to punt this one away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
And, Charles, this defense, they know that they've got their work cut out for them. Here's a quarterback coming off a game in which he threw 4 touchdowns. And they've watched the tape all week. They've seen it, but what can they do differently?
I think they've got to approach it like a pitcher facing a really hot batter. Get him uncomfortable in the box. Change speeds, change locations, change the pitches you throw at him. So show different coverages. Blitz sometimes, drop back other times. Just don't let him get comfortable or let him get into rhythm. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Cousins to throw it. This one caught. It's the tight end Hawkinson. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Play action now. Cousins. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
So it looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
On 2nd down, Cousins again. That'll be caught. It's Rager. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 36. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. Throwing the out route incomplete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retained possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15.
Holding offense.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Cousins again. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On the delay, here's Hunt. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
Blankenship's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
So here are the Panthers set to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. They go play action. Young. It's caught by Sanders. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Young's throw complete there to Thomas. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. His first catch good for 8 and a first down.
The Panthers at 3-0 here in the month of September. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down about the 38.
It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play.
But they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last last 2 possessions, the running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 38. A play fake. Now Young. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On play action, Young. That's swung out wide to Sanders. Touchdown! Miles Sanders, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are able to extend their lead. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point seeding.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Play fake. Cousins. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Now Cousins. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Hunt will try going up the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
This is a half for not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. To throw, Cousins. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this 1st half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
This offense returns to the field. And former Penn State star Miles Sanders, we're going to look at him. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
I'm sure he said challenge accepted. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now a 1st down throw for Young. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. To throw on second down is Young. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Again, it's Young. He's got Mingo. And he's going to be forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Young now. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Jonathan Mingo as the first half is winding down. And the Panthers will extend their lead here just before halftime. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now the Vikings going to take over here one more time before the half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Jefferson moving in motion left. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Osborne. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Cousins, and the throw here caught by Addison. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number one. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you cross town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as we say goodbye to September and take a look around the NFL here on this first day of October. We'll get started over at the Caesar Superdome in New Orleans. And it's the Saints who have the lead as that one's gone to halftime. Jamal Williams, a touchdown run. From there, it's up to Highmark Stadium to check in on the Bills. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting Dolphins. Josh Allen with a touchdown pass to Stephon Diggs. Finally, let's take the trip across the Atlantic, see what's happening over in London. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Trevor Lawrence, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. What a treat to watch the rookie in that first half. The #1 overall pick, Bryce Young. He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys the lead at the intermission. Both teams making their final adjustments. We're back to football. For the call, right down the street from here, we go back to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And the half will begin with a touchback. Now the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. In motion right is Osborne. On 2nd down, right back to Hunt. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They start on the ground here. It's Sanders. Still fighting. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And touchdown! Miles Sanders with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done. It's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score,
But it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. But we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They run again with Hunt. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Completes this to Addison out left. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
Von Bell up to make the tackle.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
46 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd down, back to Sanders. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go.
It's Young off play action. And that's complete to Sanders. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Young off the play fake. That's complete out right to the tight end Tremble. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one good for 26 and a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with Sanders. He will push his way down to about the 14. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Off the play fake, Young. Left side here to Sanders. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes that.
And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Giovanni Ricci, his first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead.
Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I'd probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
Yetur Gross-Matos
able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now.
He gets his first catch there, but all in all, when you're talking about the #1 receiver in the NFL coming into this game, and we're just talking about the first catch there, I think they're doing a nice job of bottling him up.
Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. Now the Panthers and Miles Sanders headed out for another drive.
He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. They'll go again with Sanders. But he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on here to punt it away. Seven yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards the pickup there. 1st down. Here's Cousins. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Cousins again.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
And he missed it. It's no good. And they will remain well behind. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Watch out now. 50 Fury.
And Young's going to throw it here. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are. And let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
Second down, back to Sanders. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Orlando, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gauton saying so long, everybody.
If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and click the like button. And if you've not already, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon